Yeah, so I just double checked that. I did have volume on the other one. So I'm on the second one. Yeah, so now I was just going to do some random stuff, random thoughts on things. And as I mentioned, doesn't really matter what others think of this. It's just kind of just thoughts off the top of my head. And I use it on stuff I read. And I guess there's a few mediums that I read quite recently, quite the most. I get the New Zealand Herald stuff, which I use the New Zealand Herald kind of more for reasonably factual statements. So if I watch the Prime Minister speak or somebody in there, I go, okay, that's what they've said. I listen to that. Go, okay, what does that mean afterwards? And there's some sort of clarity and all that sort of stuff. And so I take it on board, however way I'm going to take it on board, and everybody else around me takes it on board, whatever they hear and what they decide to do. And that fascinates me a lot. I'm so intrigued by that, of what they mean. And part of living in the future is that what was weird is I already knew this was happening 2 weeks ago. So you know it's happening. So if, like I said, you can digest some of those feelings, digest some of those probabilities and things and what's going to happen. But then the people around you are getting that news right now and are voicing out, what does that mean for them? What can I not? Can I? I'm not. What? Disagreeing, agreeing, not happy about it, all that sort of stuff. Here, because I already had those emotions of that back here. And even back here, I dealt with those kind of randomly different anyway. It's a bit like knowing, look, I go to the gym reasonably regularly, and it's part of my habits. And then hearing that's going to close. And it hasn't said it's going to close, but 3 weeks ago, I presumed if you want to start talking social distancing and you want to say things are going to continue, it's likely, or probable that they're going to close the gyms, the clubs, bars, and all that crap. It's likely. So I already mentally get ready for that. You go, okay, yeah, we'll get through that. I can adapt, I'll adjust, and I'll work through that when it happens. So I'm mentally there, even though I still go to the gym until they shut it down. You know what I mean? But I'm prepared for that loss. It's a little harder to do going to work or doing your career and having insight to what can happen. You know, you do your modeling. Your modeling's like this, and where you fit into that model. You with me? Do I fit in that model? You know, if there's 10 of us, we're going to go down to 5 of us. Do you fit in this model? I don't know. You know, depends on your situation, right? That's a tough one. Now, am I being reactively? Don't know. It's probable though. So those are things that are tough to it's tough to see the future when you're like that. You know. So anyway, I love the random thoughts that come through. Just the random stuff. And I think of things and I go, really? Really? That's what we're gonna use resource on? And so even with the New Zealand Herald, and I go, okay, information there's from the Prime Minister and stuff. Whether I agree or disagree makes no difference, right? But that's probably what everyone's going to freaking follow. So that's fine. What I enjoy is this, what now we're going to to police or what we're going to govern or what rules we're going to make from this. How we start making these rules and how it affects us as an individual. So the one I kind of latched onto was this whole surfing. You know, I don't surf. I don't see much in it, but I don't get it. I don't get that. That's a story. That's news, right? And those are all the pieces of news that I go, give me a break. You know, you're telling me you're going to go out to Muriwai, half a dozen cops. They go out to Muriwai to police some 20-year-old surfer dude who goes out there. Last time I checked, he's out there on his own in the ocean on a board. Why? Who gives a shit? I mean, seriously, what impact is he having on this whole scenario? Where's your impact? And then I hear things like, oh, what if he needed the police helicopter, the Westpac helicopter? Really? Really? I says, I went for a walk yesterday and there was freaking 200 people all of a sudden are walking, riding bikes for the first time in freaking looks like 20 years. They're all wobbling around, riding their bikes. Don't know how far, probably not far, I'll admit, but there'll be guys that are riding wherever. They're more likely to have an accident and need some fucking helicopter or resources, police, ambulances, fucking things of that nature, that crap. Then old surfer dude out there, you know? It's just, oh, it's for your safety. It's for their safety. No, it's not. You just wanna stretch your rules out and pull everybody in, you know, and decide we've all got to live through this. You know, my whole theory on this and position on this is where it's a horrible big mother syndrome. You know, it's almost like my mother's decided everything for me to make me safe and to keep me fucking safe. If I hear someone tell me be safe again, I'll punch them. I don't get it. Safe from what? What the fuck are we safe from? You know? Be safe. Be safe. Be safe from what? You know? Oh, look. It's a fact that these viruses, there's more microscopic crap around me than anything, right? Diseases and viruses and things have been evolving with animals since we evolved. They're there. They're there now. You know, if you take a subjective view on this particular virus, you know, I'm pretty confident that if we named this virus the flu 2 or influenza dash 2, we wouldn't be having this discussion. We just carry on. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a doctor or not amongst it, and maybe the flu is like this, and this is worse than the flu. Let's do that, because I appreciate that. And this is where we can become a little bit, and where I get to, maybe I'm being unethical. I really struggle on where the variance, when there's a variance of consequence for my actions. What's the consequence? What's the worst that can happen? And what's likely to happen? And what's possibly going to happen? And I've not seen one piece of evidence yet. And maybe there's been one little scrap, but of all of it, that I'm going to die from catching this disease. Amongst other diseases. I have the same likelihood of dying from the other diseases that are already there as dying from this one. I don't think if I catch this one, I'll die, and if I catch these ones, I think you're in the same bucket, right? So I'm not sure what we're doing. Seems to me to be okay. Let's argue that we want to slow it down and not have our resources all used up by it. So that I buy into. Having thousands of people with this virus in there, and it causing a chest infection, and being in percentage. So it seems to work in percentages. So it seems to me 80% of the people that catch it will just have some mild symptoms and keep moving. Of that 80% that catch it, 1% of those 80%, or 2%, 3%, depending on what you fit within. So if you're older, the older you are, the less of an immune system you have. Nothing new. You're probably in that area. And then if you take age out of it, if you have a chest ailment or a immunity system issue, right? Maybe your immune system is like an 80-year-old. Okay, let's use that. Then yeah, it's a problem. And of those, the ones that are left, they get pushed in. There's still only a percentage of them that will be fatal, and that percentage seems to only be 5%, 3%, whichever. And we keep moving. It's not nice to say, but it's the same situation that's happening now. Right now, if my mum and dad are in their 70s, if they catch something within something, it could be fatal for them. Now, it happens. I'm pretty confident if you go to an old folks home, that people there are dying of pretty basic diseases. Correct? You say, well, we don't want them to die of those. Okay, I'm not sure we're changing that. You're going to recover or you're not going to recover. And like I said, I don't know all this stuff, but that's where my head goes. I find showing me numbers are subjectional. I need the other numbers as well. You can't just give me numbers of COVID people measured with COVID as risen from yesterday to today. What does that mean? And that makes sense that it's risen because we're measuring it more. Speed tickets went up when we measured for speed more. It wasn't up when we didn't measure, but we knew it was happening, right? So, if we've got the number of suspected COVID people, the actual number of people with COVID is probably 1,000% more that had it and kept moving, right? Potentially. And that's globally. Probably find hundreds of millions of people have had it. It's like the flu, or just like other contagious ailments or viruses. A contagious virus that can be passed on by breath or in a bit of liquid from me to you, or to a surface. You grab it, stick it in your face. You can become. It can latch on and live in you, and breed and grow. Right? So, yeah. So I'm not sure, but so as one of those examples I said, focusing on surfers really, and then I had a story. I had some friends who went to India. I know it's a couple of years back. We're not close friends. They're just neighbors actually. Him and his missus thing, and they went to India. They were there for about 8 weeks. Oh, I haven't been to India. Not really a place I'm into, but hey, you never know, I might get there. Anyway, they're there, and they come back and tell me we're just chatting about stories. And I say, oh, the poverty, the human condition, the conditions that they live under are just atrocious. It's terrible. And his missus was telling me how they walked around and just because they wanted to experience it, they wanted to really see the difference in classes, how people are living. So they backpacking around, they'd stay in these places, walk the streets, and she was going, oh, there was these girls sitting there. One of them only had one leg, begging on the street. They had photos with them, and they hugged them, and they gave them food and money. It was heartbreaking. It was hot. And then just the smells through the place, you just got no idea. Oh, it was so enriching and so fulfilling to go there, give you that perspective. Things aren't that bad. Things are not that bad when you experience this. I was going, oh yeah, I can imagine. I don't really need to see it, but hey, I get it. It's better to have a look. And they were there, several weeks. They went to the rich part as well, so do both. So it was cool, right? This is true. I bumped into them about a week ago now, up on the top of the street, right? This is no lies. They've got a face mask, gloves, and they're walking 3 or 4 meters apart down the road, right? I happened to be going up there. I was going to go for a run. I see them coming down the road thing. And so they stop. They keep their distance from me. I'm like, fair enough. And I stand there and we start chatting. And I'm going to myself, this is bizarre. I get people that are already kind of germophobic. I get that. That if you're germophobic already, this is going to take you, justify every fucking stupid thing you do. But when I'm not sure the people in India right now are sitting there fucking overly concerned about some freaking virus. I don't think they're concerned about it. And yet, you went there, and there's probably more chance of you getting 7 or 8 diseases. You probably had Delhi belly and all these other things happen to you while you were there. You're sitting here now walking like you're like you're an extraterrestrial. You know, come here not wanting to contaminate something. So yeah, that made me laugh. So one of the random things I get, you start seeing your scared relations that are scared. You know, cracks me up. The panic buying was funny, and an auntie that was one of those. The stuff she bought was just awesome. It was awesome. You know, she she hasn't been to the gym for. She's got a gym membership. I think she's got 2 or 3 of the fucking things. She's one of those type shit things. She's a bit rich, and so she bought a home gym. Of course, panic buying it, all this crap, and if you're doing that, imagine everything else. Oh, the shopping. It's ironic to, buy to buy fitness gear, treadmills, Pilates gear, Swiss balls, all this crap, and then buy boxes of biscuits, boxes of chips, boxes of you name it, right? Cartons of fruit. Oh, that's amazing. It sits in it and then realizes what she's done, kind of days in, but still fine with it. She's got a funny sense of humor because we can sit and talk about this and then go. So that's me. Oh, I feel stupid. Oh, that was dumb. She's one of those ones that admits how dumb she is when she's done it, but then goes and does something dumber. You know, on the same lines, and then I tell you, she's like a Homer Simpson. You know, and yet I actually like talking to her because of how dumb it is. It makes me, I don't know, it makes me laugh, and that's a good thing. And I think that's what I found out of these, what I consider stupidity in change of behaviours. The best thing is just to be able to laugh at people because I think humour's my only kind of thing you can't stop is the humour. Funny man. So so yeah, I guess that was a few random thoughts. Probably dragged on a bit, and there's so much of it. It's just so much of it, right? So I guess like other people, I don't really watch social media too much at the moment. It's kind of like whatever. All I'm waiting for, this is me, back to finances again and economics. I need this fucking ban lifted. If it drags on longer than what you've already said, that's a problem, man. My, it's going to be tough enough to get out of this. I don't want to sound doomsdayish, but employment employment matters. You know, employment matters. Small business matters. but not really helping small business, not really helping big business. Bigger the business, the more cash flow, right? Take away the cash flow, dominoes, dominoes are going to fall. Even when you lift it, dominoes are going to fall till, who's to say, but the longer this lockdown goes, every day that goes longer, I reckon just add $1 billion of problems. Let's do that. Add another, I reckon every day this lockdown goes further, add another $1 billion, I reckon, of problems. Or take $1 billion out, do that. And I do read posts. Some of my mates will go, oh yeah, no, we want this to carry on. We want it to be safe. And I know I rambled on about this before. I just don't know what I'm safe of. I'll even do this. Let's just decide we carry on with this. We go lockdown. We go longer. We go lock. The cases is not stabilizing as much as we wanted. Let's go another couple of weeks. I'm telling you, man, there's levels that people can deal with of humans, of animals they can live with. And that I'm not sure I'm going to do, right? I've tolerated this enough. I've tolerated the restrictions and stuff but for reasonable reasons. Is that, A, it's out of my control anyway. I get that. But there is some unknown. It is new. Well, you've gotten 4 or 5 weeks or a month with positive people having this disease in medical facilities around the world. We've had it since January, February. So the medical world has been able to adapt to this thing and practice on it and do things with it. I'm not saying it's a huge amount of time, but it's the time you've got from medical recommendations of what to do with it. You can collaborate what we recommend for these types of people, what we recommend for this, what the intensive unit recommends, what it does to your lungs, how it's doing it, what the symptoms are, what's the best to alleviate the symptoms, what medication you might want to throw at it, all this sort of carry on, right? That's as much room as we can give you. It's the time, it's the room. Other than that, it's back to self-responsibility. That's where I sit. Everything's self-responsibility. And I'm not immune to it. I'm saying if this happens to me, I expect the same treatment. If I'm sick this afternoon with my intestine has had something happen or my heart is doing something, I go there and they can sort me out. If they can't, they can't. If they can't sort me out, then I perish. I'm good with that. I'm not sure, every loved one can live forever. It's just not going to happen. So I'm not sure what we're trying to achieve. But if what we are trying to achieve is to help medical resources have time to be able to medicate it and not have things happen to them, sweet, let's do that. And I think you're going from unknown to known now. Every week that goes on, that's all the data you're going to have. I think we go back to trying to be human again, and then even that won't be a spike. It'll be kind of a curve. You get more time to research and muck around with, antibodies and vaccinations and things of that nature. Just keep moving. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not keen on being locked down again. Not keen on that. Not for this consequences that's here. become and rabbit at me in 3 years and say, oh, there's a COVID-22. I don't know if I care, you know. Unless the 22 kills massive numbers, you know. Imagine that we get into something that actually is really doing some damage. You know, that'll be an interesting one. Then we'll test our fear symptoms. I'll agree with that. You know, we'll see how many airplanes are flying around then. You know, see how many people aren't going outdoors then. But yeah, not sure about COVID-19. Not sure. All right, I've got work to do by the looks. So